At 9:47 p.m., the last customer walks through the automatic doors. The sensors detect the exit, the doors slide shut. And the supermarket, 12,000 square meters of organized supply, begins its second shift. The public-facing version of the store, product displays, bright lights, background music, is only one layer. Beneath it, behind it, and running alongside it is an operational system that never fully stops. It simply shifts modes. The store manager, Marcus, has worked the closing shift for 11 years. He walks a circuit of the building before the night crew arrives. He is checking not for problems, but for the baseline, what normal looks like, so that anything that isn't normal is visible. The night crew begins arriving at 10 p.m., between 12 and 22 people, depending on the day of the week. Monday nights are lighter. Before a holiday weekend, they run full team. Each person knows their zone. Each zone has a sequence. The first task is not restocking. It is the audit. Every department runs a count. What's sold, what's low, what needs to be pulled from the floor before it expires. The system knows some of this. The human confirms it. The inventory management system logs every scan. It cross-references what left the shelf against what was delivered. There is a gap between the two, always. That gap is called shrinkage, and every night the crew works to understand it. At 10:30 p.m., the loading dock opens. The first truck of the night backs in, refrigerated trailer, 12 pallets. The dock worker guides it using hand signals. The trailer locks into the dock seal. Temperature checks are run before the doors open. The temperature log reads 2.8 degrees Celsius. The acceptable range is 0 to 5. A driver who arrives with a trailer reading 7 degrees will be turned away. The product stays on the truck. The order is rejected. A call goes out. Inside the trailer, pallets are wrapped in stretch film. Each one carries a manifest, a printed sheet that lists every SKU, every quantity, every weight. The night receiver checks the manifest against what arrived. Discrepancies go into a log that will be reviewed in the morning. The pallet jack moves. A single electric pallet jack, driven by a night receiver, pulls the first pallet through the dock door and into the staging area. This room, called the back room, is not visible to shoppers. It is the circulatory system of the store. Every product in the back room is assigned a location. Not a shelf number, a zone, a slot, a sequence within the restocking run. The night crew does not wander the aisles deciding what to fill. They follow a route, printed or loaded onto a handheld device, that sequences every movement for minimum travel time. The route is not random. It was engineered by a logistics team months before, based on sales velocity, how fast each product sells, what time of day it sells, how much buffer stock the shelf needs to survive the morning rush. The worker follows the route. The route follows the data. In the refrigerated section, the restocking is more complex. The cold chain, the unbroken sequence of temperature-controlled handling from farm to shelf, must not be broken. Product from the back room moves to the shelf within a tight window. Dairy on the floor for more than 20 minutes gets flagged. This is why the night crew has a sequence. Ambient temperature zones, the dry grocery aisles, are restocked first. Chilled zones follow, frozen zones last. The logic is thermal. Protect the cold chain, don't let product warm. There is a woman on the night produce team named Diane. She has worked the overnight shift at this store for 7 years. She begins her run at the banana wall, not because it's the beginning of the route, but because bananas are the most time-sensitive item in the section. Produce is not simply restocked. It is rotated. The new product goes behind the old product. The front-facing product is always the one closest to its sell-by date. This is called FIFO, first in, first out. Every worker on the night crew knows it. It is automatic. While the restocking continues, a separate crew has begun cleaning, not surface cleaning, the kind that happens during the day. Deep cleaning, night cleaning. The floor scrubber machine, a ride-on unit, begins its first pass at 11:15 p.m. The machine covers the main aisles. The human follows behind. The corners, the edges, the bases of the fixtures, these are done by hand. The cleaning solution is different in each section. Produce floors get a food-safe sanitizer. Meat section gets a separate protocol. The meat section operates under different rules than the rest of the store. The refrigeration runs at a lower temperature. The cutting surfaces are cleaned and sanitized twice per night. The drains, each one, are flushed, inspected, and logged. At 11:45 p.m., the second delivery arrives. This one is dry goods. Non-perishable pantry items, cleaning supplies, paper products, larger volume, fewer temperature constraints, 23 pallets, 2 workers unloading. Each pallet goes into a designated zone in the back room. Nothing is placed randomly. The layout of the back room mirrors the layout of the store floor. This is intentional. When a worker runs a restock, they don't backtrack, they move forward. The store's internal temperature is monitored continuously. 47 sensors positioned throughout the building. Each one logs every 15 minutes. If a refrigerated case drops below its threshold or rises above it, an alert goes to the night supervisor's phone within 90 seconds. Marcus receives exactly that kind of alert at 12:22 a.m. Case 14, the yogurt section, shows a temperature of 6.1 degrees, 1 degree above the safe threshold. He is already walking toward it before the alert finishes loading. The problem is a door seal. A small rubber gasket on case 14 has partially separated overnight. Cold air is escaping. The refrigeration unit is compensating, but not enough. The night maintenance technician is called. The repair takes 14 minutes. A new gasket from the parts cabinet in the maintenance room, applied and tested. Case 14 returns to 4.2 degrees. The alert clears. The log notes the event, the cause, the resolution, and the time. Every event like this becomes part of a database, not to assign blame, but to find patterns. If case 14 shows a seal failure 3 times in 6 months, the data surfaces that maintenance schedules are rebuilt around what the data shows, not what the calendar suggests. By midnight, the restocking crew is halfway through their route. The dry grocery aisles are nearly complete. Breakfast cereals, canned goods, pasta, cooking oils, all fronted, rotated, faced. The shelves look untouched. That is the point. There is a term the crew uses, facing. It means pulling every product forward to the shelf edge, every item aligned, every label forward. A shopper at 9 a.m. will see a full, organized shelf. They will not know that 6 hours earlier, it was different. In the bakery department, one worker has been here since 1 a.m. The bread schedule begins before the restocking ends. Industrial mixers, proofing ovens, dough dividers. The first batch of baguettes enters the oven at 3:10 a.m. The smell of baking bread does not reach the sales floor for another 2 hours. By the time it does, just before opening, it is not accidental. The air circulation in the store is designed to carry bakery scent toward the entrance. It makes shoppers feel welcomed. It is also calculated. At 1:30 a.m., the third delivery arrives. This one is specialty. Imported items, organic lines, prepared food section supplies, smaller truck, fewer pallets, but higher complexity. Each item has a different expiry window. The receiver works slowly, deliberately. The prepared food section is one of the fastest growing areas of the modern supermarket. Rotisserie chickens, sushi trays, hot bar containers, deli salads, all of them require fresh ingredients that arrive in the night window. The food prep team for this section starts at 4 a.m. The store's security system runs on a separate network from the operational systems. 94 cameras, all recording coverage everywhere, including blind spots that most shoppers assume exist but don't. The overnight security team reviews flagged footage and monitors live feeds. At 2 a.m., the store reaches its quietest point. The restocking run is winding down. The cleaning is done. Maintenance has resolved the one issue that came up. For a period of about 30 minutes, the building operates at minimum activity. This window, the 2 a.m. lull, is used for planning. Night supervisors review the morning run sheet. What promotions start tomorrow? Which end caps need to be rebuilt? Are there any vendor resets scheduled? Any new planogram updates? A planogram is a diagram that specifies exactly where every product goes on every shelf. It is not a suggestion. It is a contract. When a new product enters the store or a brand changes its packaging, the planogram changes and someone on the night crew executes the change. Tonight, 2 aisles have planogram updates. The breakfast aisle is getting a new section for a private label granola line. The coffee aisle is expanding. 3 extra facings added to the premium segment. The night crew reshuffles 46 SKUs before 3:30 a.m. There's a coordination layer that most people don't think about. The supermarket does not exist in isolation. It is one node in a distribution network that spans warehouses, trucking routes, regional depots, and supplier facilities. What arrives tonight was packed 3 days ago, in some cases 600 kilometers away. The truck driver who delivered tonight's first load left the regional distribution center at 7 p.m. His route included 3 stops. This store was the second. He arrived on schedule. The window was 30 minutes. In supermarket logistics, 30 minutes is not approximate, it is exact. If the truck is 30 minutes late, the receiving window closes. The dock worker moves to the next task. The product waits in the yard. The restocking for that category is delayed or pulled from existing backroom inventory. These small delays are not failures. They are variables that the system is designed to absorb. Buffer stock exists for exactly this reason. Every product category has a safety stock level, a quantity below which it should not fall before the morning rush. At 3 a.m., the energy level in the store shifts. The crew has been moving for 5 hours. The conversation is quieter, the pacing is efficient, but tired. This is the middle of the night shift, what workers call the valley. Workers on the night shift describe a particular relationship with time. It moves differently at 3 a.m., not slower, not faster, just differently. The external reference points disappear. No traffic noise, no daylight, just the work. There are things the night crew notices that day workers don't. The sound of a refrigeration unit cycling, the flicker of a fluorescent tube at the far end of aisle 7, the way the front door sensor resets every 40 minutes. These are the rhythms of the building. At 3:45 a.m., a 4th delivery arrives. This one is flowers and seasonal plants, managed by a vendor who operates independently of the main supply chain. The vendor's own team unloads and arranges the display. The store does not handle this delivery. It happens around the store. This is a feature of large supermarkets, the co-tenancy model. Some sections are not run by the store. They are run by the vendor. The bread company owns the bread section. The greeting card company owns the greeting card wall. Each of them has their own night operations, their own schedules, their own audits. By 4 a.m., the restocking is complete. Every zone signed off, every shelf documented. The night supervisor does a final walkthrough, not a check, but a confirmation. He has done this walkthrough 4,000 times. The prepared food team is now in full operation. 4 people in the deli kitchen area, gloves, aprons, hairnets, salads being assembled, rotisserie chickens prepared for the morning spit. The hot case will be ready by 7 a.m. At 5 a.m., the first signs of day shift arrive. A department manager parks in the lot. She does not come through the front. She uses the staff entrance, the same one the night crew used 7 hours ago. She will brief with the night supervisor before he leaves. The brief is 5 minutes. Night supervisor, what came in? What was resolved? What remains? 2 cases need a follow-up inspection from the morning maintenance crew. The planogram changes are done. Break room fridge needs restocking. Noted. By 5:30 a.m., the night crew has begun to thin out. Zone by zone, workers sign out and leave. They do not announce their departure. They complete their task, log their sign out, and walk through the same door they came in. Diane, who started with the bananas, leaves at 5:45 a.m. She's been on her feet for 7 hours and 45 minutes. Before she leaves, she checks the banana wall one more time. Habit, not requirement. The day crew begins arriving between 6 and 7 a.m. They move through the store, checking zones, reviewing the night summary. For most of them, the night shift is invisible. They see the results, the full shelves, the clean floors, but not the work behind them. The store's lighting shifts at 6:30 a.m. During the night, only the operational zones were at full brightness. Now the entire floor reaches daylight simulation levels, 4,000 Kelvin, the color temperature designed to mimic natural morning light. The products look different, more inviting. This is the design. The music system activates at 6:45 a.m. It was silent all night. The first track is low tempo, designed not to energize but to ease the morning shopper in. The playlist has been algorithmically curated for this store's demographic profile. At 7 a.m., the department managers run their own opening checks. Each one walks their section with a printed or digital checklist. Is the display case temperature within range? Are the promotional end caps correctly set? Is there enough facing stock to survive until the mid-morning restock? By 7:30 a.m., the checkout lanes are activated. The self-service terminals boot up, the staffed lanes power on, the cash office opens, the float is counted, distributed, confirmed. The store is 7 minutes from opening. At 7:37 a.m., Marcus, who has been here since before the night crew arrived, does his final check. The building is clean, the shelves are full, the systems are running. He walks to the front door panel and enters the opening code. The automatic doors open. The first customer, a man in his 50s, a regular, every morning, walks through. He doesn't pause. He goes directly to the coffee aisle. The system that ran all night is now invisible again. This is how it works. Not once, every night. 365 nights per year, including every holiday, every storm, every staffing challenge. The system does not pause because the calendar says it should. There are approximately 45,000 supermarkets in the United States alone, each one running a version of this same overnight sequence. Different sizes, different systems, different crews, the same fundamental logic. Restock, clean, check, prepare, open. The workers who run these systems are not often written about. They don't hold press conferences. Their shifts are done before most people have had breakfast. But the full shelf that greets you in the morning, that is their work. The cold chain is one of the engineering achievements that rarely gets named. It is the reason a strawberry picked in southern Spain on a Tuesday morning can be on a shelf in northern Germany by Thursday. The temperature never breaks, not on the truck, not in the dock, not in the store. The expiry date audit runs every morning and every night. Any product that has crossed its sell-by date is pulled before the store opens. This is not optional. It is a legal requirement, a brand requirement, and a store standard simultaneously. Pulled product is not immediately discarded. Some goes to markdown, reduced price sold same day. Some goes to a food bank or community donation channel. Some, where protocol allows, goes to staff purchase. The system is built to minimize waste before it reaches disposal. The energy consumption of a supermarket at night is not significantly lower than during the day. Refrigeration runs continuously. Lighting in the operational zones stays on. The building management system governs what is on, what is reduced, and what is off. The roof of a large supermarket is its own operational layer. 12 refrigeration condensing units, HVAC systems for the sales floor and the back room, exhaust fans for the bakery, a satellite dish for the point of sale network, all running, all monitored, all night. When a refrigeration compressor fails at 2 a.m., the response chain begins within minutes. The building management system flags the unit, the supervisor gets the alert, an emergency call goes to the refrigeration contractor on night duty. They aim to be on site within 2 hours. The store has contingency protocols for every category of failure: power outage, water main break, refrigeration loss, shelf fire suppression system activation. Each one has a step-by-step procedure laminated and mounted in the back office. Not because these things happen often, because when they do, the decision must not require thinking. There is a phrase used in operations management: the system absorbs the exception. A late delivery, a seal failure, a power flicker, none of these halt the store. They create ripples. The system is designed to dampen them before they reach the surface. By the time the morning rush begins at 8 a.m., the night shift is a memory. The shelves are full, the floors are clean, the cases are at temperature, the system has reset. The next closing time is 9:47 p.m. tonight. Tomorrow night, the same doors will close, the same dock will open, the same sequence will begin. Most of us interact with these systems every day. We push our carts down aisles that were restocked hours before we arrived. We pick up food that has been temperature monitored across 600 kilometers. We take the result for granted. The system counts on that. The invisible is not mysterious. It is organized. It is scheduled, logged, monitored, and repeated. What happens inside a supermarket after midnight is not a secret. It is simply the part of the system that most people never see. And now you've seen it. The restocking, the cold chain, the audit, the cleaning, the maintenance call at 2 a.m., the planogram reset, the briefing at shift change, the doors opening to a world that looks untouched. It runs every night, everywhere, for everyone, without announcement, without recognition, just the work. Under this video, there's a subscribe button. It's a small action, but it helps reveal the systems most people never notice. If you're curious about how everyday life actually functions, consider subscribing. And tell us, where are you watching from? Have you ever worked behind the scenes of a system like this?